Hello guys, and welcome back once again to the Golden Realm Minecraft server. My name's Coding Tom, and today we're continuing on with the server challenge. So if you recall last episode, we got this nether wart farm set up and we collected a bunch of brewing materials. And the second piece of the challenge was to set up a semi-automated brewing machine, and the requirement was you had to place the materials in a chest and get the output in a chest. So I've finally got it working. It took me a good couple hours to get all the redstone together, but I'm just going to read through my instructions that I've set up here for well, I'm calling it the Meth lab, and I'm a big Breaking Bad fan, so that's why that's the case. So step 1, insert bottles into indicated chest. Step 2, insert brewing ingredients into the upstairs chest. Step 3, AFK and take finished product. I've also got some other details there. The machine works best if you insert the exact number of materials that you're going to be using. Okay, we're going to get started on this. I have all these materials ready to go in my inventory because the third part of the challenge is to create 16 potions, and they're all like the high level maxed out potions, so you need a lot of different materials for that, and I've gathered most of them up here. But the first piece is we're going to create 15, what are they called? Let me check what they're called. 15 awkward potions, which is when you combine a water bottle with nether wart. So that'll be the first thing that we'll do, and I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to show off the brewing machine. So let's transfer these into here. So the idea is you fill up this chest with all of the water bottles, or just the precursor bottles. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there should be 15 bottles in there. And so it's going to brew 3 at a time. So for 15, we're going to need 5 nether wart. So let's get those together. And the idea is that you just drop. So you get the bottles filled in first. That's step 1. And the step 2 is you insert the ingredients to brew up. And so I'm going to insert those. You'll see them disappearing. So they're going off into the machinery. And then if we come down and look at the brewing stand, it's brewing away for us completely automatically. And so this is basically all of the redstone that I had to get together to make this happen. But let's just watch it for a second. You'll see that it waits until all the brewing has finished. So it finishes, and then it empties out the bottles. It drops some new bottles in there and drops a new ingredient in, and then the process repeats. And so you can literally set up as many potions as you want and just sit there and twiddle your thumbs, do whatever you like while all of this is happening. So let's just watch that one more time. Brewing finishes, the bottles empty out, and then new bottles come in and a new ingredient. And you can see the final result comes out in this chest, so we have a bunch of awkward potions. I'm going to let this finish running, and we'll check out redstone hell back here. This is what took me the most time coming up with all of this and making it work properly. So I'm going to do my best to explain what's going on here. That chest that we dropped our stuff into feeds into this chest and then down into the hopper. So you can see there's one nether wart left. When this hopper has stuff in it, this comparator turns on this redstone line, which activates this. So this is called a pulse limiter. So no matter how long the back redstone line is on, this will just send out a single pulse. That pulse, that pulse comes around here, and this is called a pulse extender. So this makes the pulse stay on for a longer period of time. And with hoppers, you can, let me show you. Let's come back this way. So the idea is that you have a hopper feeding in the ingredients into the top, a hopper feeding in from the side. This one is always enabled, and the dropper is what ultimately feeds in the ingredients one at a time. But by passing a redstone signal into this hopper, we can have it locked most of the time. So most of the time, items that sit in this chest are going to stay in this chest. They don't go anywhere. They only go somewhere when we disable that redstone line out there. And so that's what that first piece is doing. So when items go into the hopper, this line lights up. This sends out a pulse, which is extended by this circuitry. And the upshot is that this line is disabled for a period of time, just long enough for 3 bottles to go out of the chest and into the brewing stand. So that's what that thing is doing. That same pulse makes its way around all of these repeaters, and these are all set up to time correctly, enough time for the brewing to complete. So while the brewing is taking place, the signal is passing through all of these repeaters, and then it arrives over here. And this section here is a T flip-flop. That's what it's called. Or a latch, you could say. I think it's a latch. Anyway, the idea is that whenever this signal is turned on, this output will toggle. So the first time this switches on, and then the pulse continues around here with a delay, and then turns it off. So it turns on, there's a bit of a delay, and then it turns off again. So that's kind of a different version of that system over there. I was playing around with different stuff, but anyway, this well, it's kind of hard to see. Let's break this. I think that's okay. Yeah, so if this line is on, it turns off this line here, and that line is connected up to the hopper at the bottom of the brewing stand. So most of the time that hopper is locked and this hopper is locked, and we only enable those hoppers when we're ready for stuff to move around. And so the idea is that it waits for the brewing to finish, it enables that hopper for a few moments, just enough time for the finished potions to empty out into that chest, and then it locks the hopper again. And then that same pulse, the same delayed pulse that switches that hopper on off again, makes its way across the top of here and then into this circuitry here. And so the idea is that if you have a whole bunch of items in here, so if I just put some items in, they're actually not going to go anywhere, but oh, they will. Okay, so this thing stays on all of the time, right? And the idea is that when this has made its way all the way around here, this is an AND gate, and so that pulse will make its way across the top of here and into here and switch this off, and then this line will turn off just for a moment like that, you see, and so it sends out another pulse to start the process over again. So this makes sure that as long as there are items in here, it's going to keep pumping one item out and clearing out the brewing stand every time that the brewing completes. So that's a really long-winded explanation, and I'm not sure if it's all that clear, but it definitely seems to work. The only serious problems come about when you insert more ingredients than there are bottles for those ingredients. So it'll just keep pumping items out of the dispenser, and you end up with like 10 redstone dust in the top of the brewing stand, which isn't all that useful. But it's not really the end of the world, and I've given you access to the hopper, so if there's a bunch of stuff in here, you can just pull it out yourself, like so. So yeah, I'm gonna deal with all of these awkward potions now and go and put together all the potions that I need for level 3, and I'll be back with you guys in a moment. For me, it's probably going to be quite a lot of time, but for you guys, just a moment. Okay, so that took me about 20 minutes or so, but luckily I was able to get pretty efficient with the materials and combine some things. But here we go, we have 16 different maxed out potions. So that means, well, I have to go find one more pufferfish because I used it. But once I've done that, I think that I've successfully completed all 3 of the first levels of this challenge. The 4th level is going to take way too long for me to be bothered with it. You have to create a machine where you like basically press a button. Oops. You press a button and it makes the specified potion for you. So you would have a bunch of chests full of materials and you just like say, I want a health potion, and it goes and makes it for you. That is going to require an insane amount of redstone, and I went crazy enough as it was to just building this. So I think I'm not going to bother with that. But for my first ever challenge, I'm pretty happy with how I've done, and yeah, I think I'm going to cut it for there today, guys. Thanks for joining me on this adventure, and hopefully I'll be able to participate in another challenge soon. Anyway, see you in the next episode.